This conference will now be recorded.
So in the previous session, we have discussed about the data loader tool, what exactly the data loader tool, what we can do with the help of this data loader tool, and how to use it, we have discussed. So basically, a data loader is an on-premise tool which has been given by Salesforce, which requires the pre-installation. First of all, we have to install the data loader tool into your local system, and then only we can start using this because it's an on-premise tool. We have to install it first. So upon installing the data loader into your local system, first of all, you have to configure the Java. You have to install the Java into your local system, then only we can start utilizing that data loader. Now, so through data loader, we can connect to our Salesforce instance and we can perform both import and export operations on the bulk records. Whenever we are going to be performing the operations on the records in terms of bulk, we are using the help of data loader. It's a common question in every interview. So have you done with the data migration? Then we have to say yes. Then how did you did the data migration? So we have used data loader. So especially for Salesforce, in order to migrate the data, if you want to move the records from one object to another object, one sandbox to another sandbox, one environment to another environment, one application to another application, one server to another server, always we are migrating the data, that means records, with the help of data loader. Data loader will support all the DML operations. It supports to insert the records, update the records, delete the records, and we can able to fetch the records also from the object. That possibility is available in terms of bulk. Not only processing 10 records, not only processing 100 records, we can process maximum of 50 lakhs records in one shot. Because it is supporting 5 million records we can able to process at a time. So whenever if you want to insert the records, we have to pass those records in the form of a .csv file, and then once operation has been done, it will be giving that output also in the form of a .csv file. So whenever we are going to be processing the records, upon inserting the records, suppose for example, I have prepared one Excel sheet, that means a CSV file. Page of that I have prepared one Excel sheet. In this Excel sheet, I have placed some records information. I have placed some records information. Assume that some 1,000 records. Now, this Excel sheet I'm giving to the data loader tool. Okay, I'm giving to the data loader tool. Now, the data loader tool is going to be inserting these records into my object. This is my actual object. This is my actual object. So now whenever it is inserting these records inside this object, sometimes some records may be getting failed to insert. Maybe upon passing the records, upon placing the record information inside this Excel sheet, I forgot to pass the mandatory values for few records. I forgot to pass the values for the mandatory fields for few records. So at that time, those records will not be inserting inside that object. Then what will happen in this case? Then how do we know? How do we know which record has been filled? In this case, data loader is providing two output files. First one is a success file. It will provide a success file. Second one is it is an error file. It is providing a error file. Two files will be providing by the data loader as output. One is success file. Second one is error file. Success file means what? Whatever the records has been processed successfully, those records information will be there in the success file. Whatever the records has been failed, those failed records information is there inside this error file. That means what? It is allowing the partial processing. It is allowing the partial processing. Like for example, assume that I'm having some 10 records are there. 10 records. First record it is inserting. First record is inserted successfully. Second record it is inserted. That is also successful. Third record successfully inserted. Fourth record successfully inserted. Fifth record has been failed. Because so now for one of the mandatory field value is not there, so the record has been failed. Then what will happen? It will simply ignoring this record, it will go to the sixth record also. Okay, sixth record successfully inserted, seventh record inserted, eighth record has been failed. Okay, then we'll go to the ninth record. Ninth record is inserted, and the 10th record also has been inserted successfully. From out of 10, okay, 8 records are inserted, 2 records are failed. So this is successfully processed 8 records information will be there in the success file, and the 2 failed records information is writing inside this error file. That means what? It is allowing the partial processing mechanism. Partial processing means what? Whenever we are inserting the records, if any of the record has been failed, then simply ignore that record, continue with the remaining records as it is. Continue with the rest of the records as it is. It won't stop. It won't stop. It won't cancel that operations. Simply it will ignore that failed record. It will continue with the rest of the records as it is. This is the partial processing mechanism will be happening when coming to the data loader. Now getting this question. Upon processing the records, data loader will use the partial processing mechanism. Partial processing mechanism, where while processing the records, if any of the record has been failed, to process, then it will simply ignore the record. It will simply ignore the record and will continue with the rest of the records as it is. Rest of the records as it is. So data loader will provide 2 output files. 2 output files. First one is success file. Success file, which contains the records information which has been processed successfully. Which has been processed successfully. And then an error file. Error file, which contains the failed records information. Which contains the failed records information. So whatever the records has been failed, okay, those records information will be available inside this error file. These are the 2 files will be generating by the data loader, success file and the error file. Then how can we do that? Now let's see practically in this case. So now in this case, whenever if you want to use the data loader is going to be processing the records by dividing them to the various small batches. Now here you can raise a question. So for example, I'm going to be inserting some records into my object through data. I'm inserting the records into my object through data. Let me explain. Assume that this is my object. This is my account object. This is my account object. And I have the data loader tool. So this is the data loader tool that we have. Data loader tool. This data loader tool is going to be inserting the records inside my object. And then we can get the response back. Now, so here I have a file. I have a file, nothing but a CSV file, which contains some records. Account records.csv. So this is the file, a CSV file, which contains some records. How many records are there? Here I'm having some 10,000 records are there. I'm having some 10,000 records. Inside my CSV file, I have placed 10,000 records information. So whenever I'm passing this CSV file to my data loader, will the CSV file is going to be considering all these records under a single transaction? No. So whatever the 10,000 records are available inside the CSV file, these records are going to be divided into the various small pieces. It will divide these records to various small pieces called as batches. Like for example, a general concept. Assume that today, after the session, I will go to a hotel to have some breakfast. Okay. After the session, at 9 o'clock, I will go to a hotel and I would like to have some breakfast. So assume that I have ordered the food. So the server is going to placing that food, okay, on my table. So he is serving the food on my table. Now I have a plate on my table, and in that plate I'm having the food, whatever the food you have ordered. Now tell me, can we have the entire food at a time? Can we eat that entire food at a time with the plate? No. We can't digest. It can't be accommodatable inside the mouth. The whole food we can't accommodate in at a time. Then what we can do, we can take a small piece, we can have it, and then take one more piece, we can have it, and then one more piece, we can have it. So that this process we can keep on continuing till the plate is getting empty. Like the similar way also, that means instead of having the whole food, we are dividing to the various small pieces so that we can digest very easily. We can process very easily. Like the similar way, whatever the way we are having the food, like the similar way, whenever I'm passing some 10,000 records inside an Excel sheet, that means the CSV file, which is used to insert into my object through data loader also will do the same thing. Data loader can't process all these 10,000 records in one transaction. It will divide these records to various small pieces. That each and every piece is called as batch. That each and every piece is called as a batch. Whatever the record, 10,000 records are available, these 10,000 records it is dividing to the various small pieces. It will be dividing these records to the various small pieces. Now, this each and every piece is called as a batch. This is some batch 1. This is the batch 2. This is the batch 3. Like that. It will be dividing the records to various small pieces called as batches. Upon dividing the records to these batches, okay, upon dividing these records to the batches, data loader will be following the 2 APIs. First one is Apex API. Second one, Bulk API. 2 APIs. as part of Salesforce. So it is using the two APIs. Basically, these are the concept of development. Okay, development. Bulk API is integration part. Apex API is as part of your Apex program during the batch programming concept. Now, so upon dividing these records to various small batches, it is following two APIs, either Apex API or Bulk API. By default, it is supporting the Apex API. If you want, we can able to use Bulk API also. Suppose if it is using Apex API, upon dividing the records to various batches, it will consider the minimum batch size. Minimum batch size as one. That means each and every batch can have minimum one record, and the maximum batch size. Maximum batch size will be 2000. That means upon dividing the records to various batches, each batch can have minimum one record, maximum of 2000 records. Suppose if it did not given any batch size, then Salesforce is considering the default batch size. Default batch size as 200. Okay, by default, Salesforce is considering the default batch size as 200 as part of Apex API. So now whenever we are going to be dividing the records to various batches upon processing through data loader, so now data loader will be supporting the Apex API by default, where it will divide these records to the various small pieces called as batches. Okay, it will be dividing all the records into the various small pieces called as batches. Each batch can have minimum one record, maximum of 2000 records inside this. Like as 1 to 2000 in one batch, and the 2001 to 4000 in another batch, 4001 to 6000 in another batch. Like that, it will be dividing that. If it did not given any batch size, then it will be treating the default batches as 200. Like the similar way, if you are using that bulk API, then for this one, as part of bulk API, you will be having some different batch sizes. If you're enabling the bulk API to process more number of records, then minimum batch size will be 1, maximum batch size will be 10,000, default batch size will be 2,000. Okay, so now as part of bulk API, the minimum batch size is 1, maximum batch size is 10,000, default batch size is 2,000. Nothing but it will be dividing the records. Each batch can have minimum 1 record, maximum 10,000 records. So in one batch, we can process 10,000 records. Another batch next to 10,000. Next batch next to 10,000. Like that, it will be processing all the 5 million records. This is the internal concept. This is how data loader will work internally. Basically, this concept is a batch programming concept. During the development, we'll see how can we implement the batch program. How to implement, how can we take the records and how can we process it by dividing them to the various batches. Okay, through programming, we'll see during the development concept. But internally, data loader will use the same batch programming concept internally. This is the internal concept. Generally, nobody will discuss all these things, but these are very, very important in the real time, in the interview point of view as well. The people won't give this much of theoretical part regarding data loader. Simply, they will tell you how to use data loader, how to implement. That's it, simple. But these background concepts are very, very important to get some more knowledge.
I have a quick question, sir.
Yes.
So here we place all the records in Excel sheet and give these to the data loader, right?
Okay,
So
yes, right.
could we able to give only the one object related accounts records? I mean,
right, correct. Not the multiple object related. Only one object related information we can supply to the data loader at a time.
Oh, don't be able to give like a few for account records and few contact records and few.
No, not like that. Not like that. Only one object records you can process at a time through data loader.
Okay, got it.
Yeah. It may be anyone. It may be import wizard also same. Only one object records you can process at a time, not multiple. No. So now here in this case, then how can we use this data loader? Now let's see practically. So upon using the data loader to process the records, data loader internally using the batch concept, where whatever the records I have supplied to the data loader in the form of a CSV file, that whole records will be dividing to the various small pieces called as batches, and each batch will be having some specific number of records. It will be processing all the batches one by one like that, till all the batches will be getting processed. This is the internal concept of data loader. Now, then how can we use this data loader tool? So first of all, we have to download the data loader tool into a local system. We have to install it. And then, so let me go with the data loader tool, how it will look like. Now, so already data loader tool is available in my local system. Okay, already have installed. Now let me go with the data loader. So this is the data loader tool icon. So this is the data loader tool icon. I would like to install this. So now click on run. So now the data loader tool has been installed successfully. So now it is opening the data loader tool file. Now, this is the data loader tool API. This is the user interface. This is the user interface of my data loader tool. This is how data loader tool user interface looks like, where we can perform 7 operations by using data loader tool. Okay, we can perform 7 operations. So what are those 7 operations we can do with the help of data loader? Let me explain first, and then I will show you how to log in into this data loader tool, and then how can we perform these operations. I will show you practically.
Feroz, you downloaded this data loader from the app launcher?
No, not from app launcher, from your Salesforce instance only. Just you can go to your Salesforce instance that already have given the navigation, right? Just you can go to that. You will be having data management. Here we are having data loader.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, you can select the flavor. Okay, either data loader for Windows or data loader for Mac. Depends upon the operating system that we have. We can able to download this one.
Before that, you install the JVM.
JVM is not required. Okay, JVM is not required. Just a JDK is sufficient. Okay, JDK is sufficient.
So how can we install that, sir?
No, that will be from the Oracle website. Whenever you are trying to, whenever you are trying to be installing the data loader, okay, if the Java is not available, it will give that link to you directly. It will be redirecting you to that Oracle website. Like for example, if you want to install that Java into a local system, just you can go to any resources in the internet. Okay, Java JDK installation. Now you will be having that Oracle website is available, installation of the JDK on Microsoft Windows platform. We can go to the Oracle website. From there, we can able to install JDK installation instruction for instruction notation for Windows. So now you will be having this. You will be having all the navigations are available. Java SE downloads. There you will be having these options. JDK download. So this is from the free website, okay, which is from Oracle, because previously Java is come from Sun Microsystem, but now Java is come from this Oracle. Oracle has acquired this Java. Now, so that you can download this JDK installations as well. JDK 1.4 or 11, we can able to install into the local system. From there, we can able to use it. Now, so now here, as part of data loader, by using this data loader tool, we can perform the 7 operations. What are all the various operations we can do with the help of data loader? The first one is we can able to insert the records. Second one, update. Third one, delete. Fourth one, upsert. Fifth one, export. Sixth one, export all. Seventh one, hard delete. These are the 7 operations we can do with the help of data loader. Now, let me explain each and every operation first, and then I will show you how to do each and every operation. insert operation. So what we can do, we can insert some records into the object through data loader. By using this operation, we can insert the records into the object. By using this data loader tool, we can insert the records, bulk records, up to 5 million records we can process in one shot. But when moving forward in the development, we are going to be using a concept called as batch programming. There, through batch programming, we can process maximum of 50 million records in one shot. That means 5 crore records we can process in one shot through batch programming in Salesforce through Apex programming. But data loader will support to process up to 5 million records at a time only, not more than that. Then, updating the records. By using this update operation, we can update the records into the update. Whenever if you want to update the records, we need the record ID mandatorily. Compulsorily, record ID should be there. Which record you would like to update? We need the record ID. We need the record ID to get update. By using delete statement, we can delete the records here from the. We can remove the records from the object based on the specified record ID. That means just we need the record ID. Based on that record ID, those records we can remove from the object. So whenever I'm removing the record by using data loader, where the deleted records will go, same concept, same story. It will go to the recycle bin. Now, deleted records will go to the recycle bin. Recycle bin for next 15 days. Whatever the records we have removed from the object through data loader, those records will be placing inside the recycle bin for the next 15 days. And within that 15 days, at any point of time, we can restore those records back to the actual object. That possibility is there. Next, upset. Basically, what do you mean by this upset operation? Upset is nothing but it's a combination of update plus insert. Upset means it's a combination of upset plus insert. That means what? We can update the records, we can insert the record in one shot. Previously, what we did, to insert the record, we are using insert operation separately. To update the records, we are using update operation separately. But sometimes I want to do both insert and update in one shot. For that one, we can use upset operation. We can perform both insert and update operations into the object at a time. So that here we can able to process both insert and update operation into the object in one shot. Now, the next one, export. Export means what? We can fetch the records. We can fetch the required records from the object. Exporting the records means we can get the records from the table, we can store into our local system in the form of a CSV file. In the form of a CSV file, we can able to store those records also. That possibility is available. Next, export all. So what do you mean by this export all? Not all the record. Don't think all means all the record, not like that. Suppose, for example, I have an object. In this object, some 100 records are there. So from that 100 records, I have deleted 10 records. Then what will happen? In this particular object, I will be having 100 minus 10, so 90 records will be there. Remaining records will be there inside that recycle. In the recycle bin, 10 records are there. What are the deleted records are available? Those are there inside this recycle bin. So whenever I'm using export, it will be collecting only 90 records, but I want including deleted records also. For that one, we are using the help of export all. Now, we can fetch the records from the object, including deleted record from the recycle bin. If you want to fetch the records, including the deleted records from the recycle bin, then we are using the help of export all operation. Now, the hard delete. Hard delete means what? I want to remove the records. Generally, we are having this delete button. By using this delete button, we can delete the records. Those deleted records will go to the recycle bin. But sometimes I want to remove the record. So upon removing the record, it should not go to the recycle bin. Permanently, that record should remove from my object. Without moving to the recycle bin, permanently it has to. At that time, we are using the help of hard delete. By using this hard delete button, we can remove the records permanently from the Salesforce object without moving to the recycle. Generally, upon removing the record, the deleted records will go to the recycle bin. But if I'm using hard delete option, those records will not go to the recycle bin. Those will be removed permanently from Salesforce instance. Now, we can remove the records from the object permanently without moving to the recycle. But if you want to remove these records, we need some special permission. We need the below permission to perform hard delete. What is that? Inside your profile level, we need a permission called as bulk API hard delete. Hard delete checkbox to be get selected. It's a common question in the entry point of view. In order to perform the hard delete operation, what permission that you need? In order to perform that hard delete operation, we need a special permission called as bulk API hard delete checkbox to be selected inside your profile level. Inside that user's profile, bulk API hard delete checkbox to be selected. It's a common question in the interview, along with that in admin certification 201 also. Okay, now. So in this case, how can we use this data loader tool? By using the data loader tool, we can perform 7 operations. We can insert, we can update, we can delete, we can perform upset operation, we can export the records, we can export all the records, including the deleted records from the recycle bin. We can perform hard delete operation also. So whenever if you want to use data loader to perform the operations, first of all, we have to log in into the data loader. You have to log in into the data loader. So because data loader is an on-premise tool given by Salesforce, through data loader you are connecting to Salesforce. So we have to log in into the data loader first. Then how can we log in? Upon logging into the data loader tool, we have 2 ways are available. 2 ways to log in. First one is we can able to go with that OAuth authentication. Second one, password authentication. In order to log in into the data loader, we have 2 ways are available. First one, OAuth authentication. Second one, password authentication. Basically, OAuth authentication requires the access token. So which is a concept of integration. Okay. So how to configure the OAuth authentication and how can we generate the access token by connecting to the authorization servers? It's a different concept. It's a part of integration. And then second one, password authentication by using this username and the password. Okay, we can log in with Salesforce account credentials. Whatever your Salesforce account credentials are available, same credentials we have to use to log into the data. In this case, what we can do, we have to specify the username. We can specify the password. your Salesforce account username and the password. But in this case, password should be your password plus security token. We have to specify the password will be password plus security token. Username we can give as it is, and your password should be whatever the password that we are using to log in into your Salesforce account. Just enter your password along with security token also. So security token is a unique identification code which is generating the Salesforce. Then how can we generate the security token? Let me show you. Generating the security token. How can we generate the security token? Let me show you. Log in into the Salesforce account. Log in into the Salesforce account. Click on your name and expand it. Click on My Settings link. Go to Personal and expand it. And then click on Reset Security Token link. And then click on Reset My Security Token button. And then it will generate the security token. Security token, and will send to the email ID. Copy the security token from the email and then use to log in into the data loader. This is the process to generate that security token. Security token is a unique identification code which is generating the Salesforce to recognize each and every user. To recognize each and every user and each and every customer, Salesforce is generating a security token which we have to enable. Then, so how to generate the security token? Now, let me explain practically in this case. So whenever if you want to log in into the data loader, we have to pass your username and then we have to specify your password. Along with the password, we have to specify your security token also. Then how can we generate the security token? Now let me show you practically.
How they are logging, sir? In security token or
Sorry?
in real time? How they are logging, sir?
Same. Even though it may be real time, it may be normal also. Everywhere same concept. No change at all.
Which one is recommended, sir? They are using security token through or what?
They are going to be using the security token only.
Okay. Okay, thank you, sir.
So now we would like to use that security token. And then how can we log in into this data loader by generating a security token? Let me show. For example, so let me go to my Salesforce account. To generate the security token, go to your name on the top right corner. Click on My Settings. In the left panel, you are having an option called as Personal and expand it. We have an option called as Reset My Security Token button. Link is available. Click on Reset My Security Token. We have a button called as Reset Security Token button. Click on this. Now it will be generating a security token that will be sending to your email ID. It won't show on your user interface. It has sent that security token. It is indicating we sent a new security token to email address to your account. This is the email address, okay, which I have used upon creating the Salesforce account. So to my email ID, it has sent the security token. So let me log in into my Gmail account to collect the security token.
Feroz, administrator will be doing all this?
Yes, administrator will do all these things.
Okay.
Suppose if that responsibility has been assigned to you, then you have to do all these things. We have to log in into your account. We have to generate the security token, and then we can able to log.
So for the user also, he can just log in and generate his security token.
Yes, right, correct.
For that, the admin has to provide some few permissions.
Yes, right. He should be granting the permission to the user to generate the security token.
Okay, where we'll have that permission to access it? Like, can you show
Which
us?
one? So in that profile, they will be granting that full permissions. They will be granting that full permissions in the profile level.
Okay.
Okay. Now. So now this is the security token which has been generated by Salesforce. Okay, which is a unique code generated by Salesforce. So which we need to collect. Copy this security token, and then we can able to log in into our data loader. Now, so let's go to the data loader. For example, I would like to log in into the data loader first. So click on any of the buttons. These are the 7 buttons are available. Insert, update, upsert, delete, hard delete, export, export all. These are the buttons are available. First of all, I want to export the records. Exporting means fetching the records from the object. Once you click on this export, take any of that button here. It is asking for you to log in first. So upon logging into your data loader, we have 2 ways: OAuth authentication, password authentication. Now I want to go with that password authentication right now. So select that password authentication, specify that username and the password. I'm giving my password over here. Along with that, just copy that security token and paste it. I'm pasting that security token. Don't give any plus symbol, password, and then immediately you can paste that security token. Now click on login button. It is validating your username and the password. Now it is indicating login successful. Okay, login successful. From there, we can able to perform the operations whatever you want. So click on next button. Now it is providing that user interface to you to perform the operation. What objects data you would like to export. Now from there, we can able to continue as it is. This is the way we have to log in into your data loader. Okay, now. So you can raise the question, sir, every day I would like to use data loader. Do I need to generate the security token every day? No, not required. Once a security token has been generated, the same security token we can use for the next 3 months. Okay, the same security token we can use for the next 3 months. If you want to generate, then you can generate, no problem. Every time if you want a fresh security token, you can generate, no problem. But the same token you can use for the next 3 months. That is a facility given by Salesforce. Now, so now let's see how can we perform each and every operation one by one. So whenever we are going to be using the data loader, okay, this is the whole process we have to understand. These are the functionalities of your data loader. Okay, now then how can we manage the records by using data loader? We'll see one way. First of all, let's go with that export operation first. Export operation is what? Export operation is used to fetch the required records from the object. So from that object, what information you would like to fetch, we can able to specify. We can specify the records. So if you want to fetch all the records, then you can fetch. If you want to fetch only some specific record, then you can fetch by applying the required conditions. Okay, now. So now here as part of this export, we can fetch the required records from the object by adding the user defined conditions. And we can select the required columns. Information will be get fetch. So that means here, for example, I want to fetch the account records. In that account records, I don't want all the account records. I want only those accounts whose industry equals to some banking. I want only those accounts whose rating is some heart. I want only those accounts whose annual revenue greater than some 20 lakhs. I want only those accounts, okay, whose billing city is equals to Hyderabad. I want only those accounts whose active status equals to yes. Like that, you can apply your own conditions, whatever you want. No need to fetch all the records that exist inside the object. We can fetch whatever the record that you want. Depends upon your requirement, we can able to get the required records also. That possibility is available. Now, so in this case, we can able to apply your own filters also, your own user defined conditions also upon exporting the records from your object by using data loader. Then how can we do that? Now let's see practically.
Feroz, excuse me. Can you explain like what is an API?
API is nothing but application programming interface, which provides some set of ready-made classes to perform some certain operations. Like we are having some APIs. Like for example, when you go to the integration, we are using some APIs. Okay, first one is REST API. REST API is used to implement web services, which will be the RESTful web services, which is used to connect to the third-party systems. And second one, we are having SOAP API. This is also one of the way to integrate with the third-party system based on some WSDL files. Based on some WSDL files, we can able to integrate with the third-party systems also. This is purely based on endpoints. Like as REST API is purely very lightweight integration, and the SOAP API is like as a most heavyweight implementation, which requires a more coding, a lot of steps we need to do. And we have bulk API. Whenever if you want to process some bulk records, then we can go with that bulk API. We have Apex API, which is used to process that records through the Apex programming language. Like that here, we are using the various APIs as part of your application.
Okay.
So now here in this case, as part of this data loader, by default data loader is using Apex API. That means Apex ready-made classes to process records. So now I would like to export the records first. Then how can we perform the export operation? Click on export button first. Now it is populating a user, it is providing a user interface. In that one, select that object, which object data you would like to fetch. It is populating the object name. So it is populating the object. Now, so now in this case, it is populating some object names. Now tell me, you can raise a question, sir, Salesforce is a very big application. So many applications are there, so many objects we have discussed, but it is showing very less number of objects. Like as account, candidate, case, contact, customer, event, hiring manager, lead, opportunity, patient, position, like that. But what about the remaining objects? If you want to see all the objects, here we have a small checkbox is available. Show all Salesforce objects. There is a checkbox is available. Okay, show all Salesforce objects. You can able to select this checkbox. Then it will populate all the objects of your Salesforce instance. So now if you want to see all the objects of your Salesforce, then select the checkbox, okay, show all Salesforce objects. So now whenever I'm selecting this, it is populating all the object names. These are the various objects are available inside my Salesforce instance. So every object we can see. Okay, now, so in this case here, I would like to select that object, okay, whose data I would like to fetch, from that object. Now here, for example, I'm selecting this account object. Okay, I would like to export this account object records into my local system. So now select that object name, whose records you would like to fetch. Select that account object here. And then whenever you are selecting the second object, then that object records it will collect, it will be placing inside one Excel sheet. Then where you want me to place that Excel sheet, in which location you want me to place that Excel sheet in your local system. Choose a target for extraction. That means here, select that location where you want me to save that file. So for that one, what I want to do is I would like to select a file over here. I would like to select a location. Let me go to my folder over here. I would like to go to my location. Here I would like to create a separate folder. I would like to create a new folder with the name Data Loader Extractions. Data Loader Extractions. In this folder, I want to place SFDC batch 333 Data Loader Extractions. I would like to place this information. Whatever the files it is exporting, that means whatever the records I'm collecting, those records will be placing inside an Excel sheet. That means a CSV file. That CSV file I want to collect, I want to place in this location. So select the target location here. Choose a target for extraction. Wherever you want, you can store. In our desktop also, wherever you want, you can save, no problem. Now, click on Browse button. Select that location here. I'm selecting that location. Data Loader Extractions. In this one, with which name you want me to store that file? What is the name of that file? By default, it is giving that file name as extract. I don't want to indicate simply extract. I want to indicate accounts extract. Extract.csv. That means I want to save these records into a file with the name accounts extract.csv. File name should be always with the extension .csv because data loader is purely supporting CSV file format. Import wizard also purely supporting CSV file format. Comma separated value. It's like as a Excel sheet. I will show you practically now. So specify the file name over here and then click on save. Now, so now we have specified that target location. Next click on next button. Then select what columns information you want to fetch. Because when you go to the account object, I'm having so many columns out there. ID column, name column, rating, industry, annual revenue, type, phone, fax, so many columns are there. Then what columns information you want? All the columns are only some specific column. Then you can select. So click on next button.
Excuse me.
Yes.
Here it is showing few limited objects, right?
Not objects. All the objects you can see.
Yeah, we can see, but yeah, by default it is showing few objects because when you create application, you choose few objects. That's
no,
why.
Not like that. Not like that. These are the objects which we have interacted as of now. Recently we have used. That's what it is showing, only those objects instead.
Okay.
Okay.
There is no default like that. Okay.
No, there is no default like that.
Only whenever we interacted, that show. Okay.
Yes, right. Now, so it is populating a list box. In this list box, select the columns. What columns information you want? So here it will be having the columns. Each and every column is having aligned with the checkbox. So these are the columns are available. So we can able to see each and every column inside this list box. So what columns information you want to fetch? Select the columns. Now my requirement is I'm selecting ID column. I want that name column value, type column value. I want that phone and the fax. And the website column I want. Industry and annual revenue also I want. Ownership column also I want to fetch. Rating column also and the site column also I want to fetch. And I want to fetch active status column also. PAN number column also I want to fetch. These are the columns. So whenever I'm selecting the columns, automatically a query will be getting prepared. Let's see. It is preparing a query. Based on the columns which are selected, it is preparing a select statement. Select these column names from account object. Okay, it is preparing a query. Generally, fetching the data means what? Getting the data by using select statement, simply. So that here it is preparing the query here. Now, so along with that, I want to fetch the billing city also. So that select that column, billing city, billing state also. Okay, these are the columns information I'm going to be collecting, and then billing country. Okay, those columns information will be getting added automatically by default. So in this case, and then along with that, if you want to apply any conditions, then we can able to use this filters option. So upon fetching this data, if you want to add any filters, then you can able to apply these filters. By using this option, we can able to have the filters. That possibility is there. Like suppose if you want to fetch only those account records whose industry equals to banking, then you can select this condition. So now industry, based on industry column, I want to apply the condition. Industry equals to, I want to select the option, banking. Now click on add condition. So the condition will be getting added over here. So where industry equals to banking, it will be adding the condition automatically. We no need to type these conditions, everything will be added automatically by default here. Like that, depends upon your requirement, whatever the conditions that you want, we can able to add. If you want to remove this condition, then click on clear all conditions. The conditions has been getting cleared out. So like that here, whenever we are fetching the data, not only fetching all the records available inside the object, we can fetch the required columns information also, and then we can add the required conditions also. Use a different condition based on your application requirement.
So what
And
if I want one more field? I mean, one more condition.
then you can add one more condition also. Initially, we are adding this condition. After that, we can able to add one more condition. Like I would like to specify the rating should be equals to part. Add condition. Automatically it is adding where industry equals to banking and rating equals to heart. Okay, now like that multiple conditions also we can able to add. I don't want the conditions, I'm going to be clearing out. So click on clear all conditions.
Sir, if I have a requirement like if any one of case is true, I want to display all these field like.
Then we can specify R. Yeah, this is the normal text box only, text area. We can type the columns information also. Here we can specify where industry equals to, we can specify banking or rating equals to heart. We can able to type that one also. If you know the query syntax, then you can type, or else you can able to add the condition based on your requirement.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
All the classes will be applicable.
Maybe if the objects are in relationship, I want to get the data from two objects.
No,
Here I
only
need-
one object. No, not from two objects. We can fetch one from only one object, not from multiple. Okay. Now
So
here in
if
this,
we want multiple objects data, then how can we do?
you have to fetch it separately. First of all, account object data and then contact object data separately. Why? Because object to object fields are different, conditions are different. That's what here we have to export two times. First of all, we can fetch account object data. In the second operation, we can export the contact object or opportunity, whatever, anything. We can't fetch multiple objects data in one shot. Even though those objects are related also, we can't fetch from multiple. At a time, only one object's data. It may be insertion, updation, deletion, anything, only one object we can interact in one shot. Now, so once you have specified that required columns information, then click on finish button. So now it is asking for the confirmation. You have selected the option to export the records. Now you want me to go ahead or not? Yes. Click on yes. So now the operation is in progress. It will collect the data. It is collecting this. It is indicating that the operation has fully completed. There were 50 successful extractions and 0 errors. Nothing but totally 50 records are available in the account object. All the 50 records has been exported successfully without any errors. Now click on OK. If you want to see those records, then we can able to go to this. It is indicating that inside my location we have a file called as accounts extract. Double click on this file, we can able to see that file. In that file, you will be having the records. Whatever the 50 records are there, okay, which are available inside the account object, all the records has been exported. These are the 50 records information. See, these are the account record IDs. Complete 18 records ID will fetch automatically. These are the account record IDs. These are the names of those records, and then type value, billing city value, billing state, billing country, phone number values, fax number values, website values, and then industry values, annual revenue, ownership, rating, site, active status, PAN number values. All this information it has collected here. So we can share this information to our client also, to other higher officials also, to whomever you want. We can able to share this information as well. All the 50 records has been exported successfully over here. If you want to apply any filters over here, then you can able to go with the filters. Okay. In the Excel sheet, we are having the filtering option. Apply the filters. So based on some rating or industry, I would like to apply the filters. Now, so now based on that industry, we can able to apply the filters. That is having the pick list options are available. Select that. What records you want? I want to show only the banking records. So unselect this one, select only banking. Click on OK, only the banking records you can see. In that Excel sheet, you will be having the same option. You know, most of the people are aware of Excel sheets. Okay, so in the Excel sheet, whatever the options are there, you can use all the options in that Excel sheet also. CSV file in the sense it will be looking like as Excel sheet only, nothing different. Okay, so totally 22 records are available inside this account object, okay, which are having the industry value like as banking. Suppose if you want to fetch only the hard rating records, then we can able to specify rating value equals to heart. Now it is indicating only the hard rating records. Totally 25 records are there which are having the rating value as heart. So like this here, depends upon your requirement, we can able to export the records from your object by using data loader. This is a way we can able to export the records, okay, from the object. Okay, now. So totally 50 records are available. 50 records we have exported. Now, for example, so from this account object, I would like to remove some of the records. I would like to remove some of the records, okay, from my account object. When you go to the all account records, it is indicating totally 50 records are there. From this one, few records I would like to remove. So before that, let me verify, do we have any records waiting in the recycle bin? Yes, okay, few records are there. Sample, IBM Incorporation, Sai Mohan, Infosys Incorporation. These are the 4 records are there which are waiting inside the recycle bin. In my account object, I'm having 50 records are available. From this 50, I would like to remove some records. I'm deleting this record here, bulk test account 1. Click on delete. Next, second one. Bulk test account 2. This also I'm removing here. I'm deleting this record. Bulk test account 3. This record also I have. So now tell me how many records are there in my object right now? 47. 47 records are there. In the recycle bin, how many records are available here? In the recycle bin, we have 7 records. These are the 3 and these are the 4. Totally, all the records are account records, 7 records are there. Now, I want to fetch the records from my object, including these deleted records also. Including these deleted records also. That means 47 records plus 7. Totally 54 records I want to fetch now. So in this case, how can we fetch all the records, including deleted records also? Then what we can do? Now, for that one, we are going to be using the help of an operation called as export all. Export all operation is used to fetch the records from the object along with the deleted records also from recycle bin. Okay, recycle bin. So now in this case, both the records available in the object, records available in the recycle bin, both records I'm collecting, I'm placing in the Excel sheet. How can we differentiate which one is a deleted record, which one is from the object here? How can we differentiate? For that one, inside this each and every object, it is having one column called as is a deleted column. Is a deleted field. So which will be having the true. That means there is a column called as is a deleted column in every object maintaining the Salesforce. If this column is having the true, that means this record is a deleted record. Is a deleted record. If it is having the value false, that means this record is not a deleted record. Okay, this is the field. Based on this is a deleted field, we can differentiate whether the record is a deleted one or not. We can differentiate that. That possibility is available. Then how can we perform the export all operation? Now let's see practically in this case. So let's go to the data loader. Click on export all. Select that account object. I would like to export all the records from the account object, including deleted records also. Choose that extraction folder. Select the browse. Here I would like to export the records into a separate file called as accounts export all .csv. I would like to save those records into a file with the extension, okay, accounts export all .csv. I'm going to be exporting all the records available inside my account object, so that I'm giving the file name like this. Now, click on save. Click on next. Now select the columns information. So I want to collect the ID column. Is a deleted column. That means to differentiate which record is a record from the object, which record is from recycle bin. And then I want to fetch the name column, type column, billing city, billing state, billing country, phone and the fax, website, industry and annual revenue, ownership values, rating values, and the active status. These are the columns I want. Remaining columns information I don't want. So I want to fetch all the account records from the object, including deleted records also. So now click on finish button. Once the columns have been getting selected, then click on finish. It is indicating you have chosen to perform and export all records, including deleted records. Okay, click yes to begin. Do you want me to go ahead or not? Yes. Click on yes. It will be collecting the record totally. There were 54 successful extractions and 0 errors. Nothing but 54 records has been collected without any errors. Now click on OK. Let's go to your folder. Here we are having that Excel sheet is available, CSV file. To open that export all file, there you can able to see all the records. Now you will be having all the records. Total 54 records will be available inside your object over here. So from this one, which record is a deleted one? How do we know? For that one, there is a column called as is a deleted column. It is indicating false, nothing but this is not a deleted one. This is there in the object. This is also not a deleted one. This is also not a deleted one. When you come down here, we are having deleted equals to true. That means this record is a deleted record. This record is a deleted record. Like that, we can differentiate. Suppose if you want to see only the deleted record, then you can add that filter on this particular column by using this Excel sheet. Click on sort, click on filter. We can able to add the filter on this one. So depends upon your requirement. I want to apply the filter. Only the true option. Okay. Whatever the records are available which has been deleted. I want to get this one. So these are the 7 records are available. It is indicating clearly over here. 7 records are there. 7 out of 54 records. These are the 7 records which are deleted one. you can able to share to your client also. Suppose if you want to know what are the records which are not deleted, then you can able to select that. Only that false option. So you can collect that 47 records. These are the 47 records are there which are not deleted. Like that, we can differentiate those records also by adding the filters inside your Excel sheet. This is how we can able to perform the export operation through data loader, okay, from the required Salesforce objects. This is a concept of export operations. And then we have few more operations are there. We'll see in tomorrow's session. Do these two operations today. Install the data loader, configure the data loader, log in into the data loader by using the security token and perform export and export all. Then how to perform the remaining 5 operations, I will show you tomorrow. And then tomorrow we are discussing one more concept called as reports and dashboards. So how to generate the reports in Salesforce, how to generate the dashboards also, we'll see in tomorrow's session. Tomorrow we'll continue with the data loader. Along with that, we'll start the concept of reports and dashboards. Okay.